Alone Against the Frost is a Call of Cthulhu adventure designed to be played by a single person, where you are both the keeper and player. In it, you assume the identity of L.C. Nadelman, Ph.D., an anthropologist tenured at Miskatonic University in the 1920s. You have traveled to survey the North Hanninah, an unknown region in Canada's Northwest Territories. The North Hanninah holds many dangers, and your first expedition may not end in scientific or academic glory. Thankfully, you can try this adventure as many times as you like. The big woods are unpredictable, and they hold many different adventures and possible outcomes. Each time you begin anew, you may reallocate Dr. Needleman's skill points. Your knowledge of the hazards ahead will improve your chances, but their knowledge and skills are not always enough against the forces of darkness. You'll need a pencil, scratch paper, dice, and the Call of Cthulhu rule set, or starter set, 7th edition. Dr. Nadelman. You may play Dr. Nadelman as a man or woman, and for my playthrough, I'll be playing Dr. Nadelman as a woman. You are the youngest PhD to be tenured at Miskatonic University in Arkham, Massachusetts. You are a rising star in the new field of cultural anthropology. Even your European counterparts are impressed by your cascade of learned articles. Your theories are exciting, your classes are always full, and your students idolize you. Previous expeditions on your resume have been just sensational enough to draw the favorable attention of the press, to the university in general, and to the Department of Anthropology in particular. Rumors around about large private endowments for your specialty. Your department head and collegiate administrators often invite you to dinner. Dr. Nadelman's investigator sheet can be found on page 110. You may allocate 360 points among Nadelman's professional skills. These are anthropology, history, library use, natural world, other language, her own language, English, psychology, and persuade. Your character must have at least 75% in anthropology. Nadelman also has 180 points of personal interest skill points to spend. Allocate these as you like, but for fieldwork, you might want to consider firearms, navigate, pilot, a boat, and survival of the woodland. Player companions. The Nadelman expedition is a party of 5. You have the help of Charlie Foxtail, a local guide, along with Bernard Epstein, Sylvia Davidson, and Norman Faulkner, your graduate students from the university. If you need to make a skill roll and one of your companions is present and awake, you may choose to have them make the roll instead. For example, Charlie has an excellent score in Listen. As long as Charlie is able to help, you may roll on her skill instead of Nadelman's. You may only attempt the skill roll once, however. Should combat arise, your companions may help you. Allot damage on your side as evenly as possible. Dr. Nadelman may elect to take extra damage to protect the students. A companion's hit points must not be reduced below 0 in combat unless the text allows for the possibility of their death. Should a companion be reduced to 0 hit points, they fall unconscious and revive if Nadelman survives the fight. Using luck points. It is recommended that you use the optional spending luck rule. This rule allows you to spend your luck points to alter the result of skill or characteristic rolls. You may alter a roll on a 1-for-1 basis, for example, to adjust a roll of 49 to make the result equal to your score of 45. You would spend 4 points of luck. With any spent luck then deducted from your current luck total. Remember, you cannot spend luck points to alter damage rolls, luck rolls, sanity rolls, or rolls to determine the amount of sanity points lost. You may spend Dr. Nadelman's personal luck points to succeed at a failed skill check. However, there will be very few opportunities to recover luck out in the woods, and you're likely to need some luck along the way, so do this at your peril. Insanity. Apart from the threat of injury and death, your sanity may be assaulted by strange and incomprehensible things while on the expedition. Keep a record of Dr. Nadelman's sanity points and apply sanity losses as normal. In some cases, the results of insanity are directed in the entry text. Otherwise, at any other point, should you reach the threshold for temporary, indefinite, or permanent insanity, consult the following entries as necessary and continue from that point. Those entry numbers are also noted on Dr. Nadelman's character sheet. You do not need to keep a track of your companion's sanity points. You, Dr. L.C. Nadelman, have long been fascinated by the prehistory of North America, particularly the big woods of the north. The Canadian wilderness remains as unexplored as the Amazon basin, and hunters, trappers, and gold seekers tell their hair-raising stories of the people in the area. Of course, they also tell tales of terrifying demons and other exotic fantasies. The time is right to bring a rigorous academic perspective to the big woods. The truth hidden there is doubtless more fascinating than any traveler's yarn. For over a year, you have petitioned your department to finance a modest summer exploratory trip into Canada's Northwest Territories. Now, at last, your funding has been approved and you make your preparations to leave at the end of the spring semester. Many of your graduate students are eager to go, but you can only take 3. You have chosen to explore the valley of the North Hanninah. In the local dialect, Hanninah means the river of magic power. The yarn spinners have worked overtime on the legends of the North Hanninah. It is said to be haunted by invisible presences and bloodthirsty headhunters. A part of the valley where a part of prospectors was found beheaded is still known as Headsman's Glen. Your small expedition takes the train into north central Canada and then boards a chartered launch to Great Slave Lake and down the Mackenzie to Fort Macdonald, where an outpost of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police represents the sole power of civilization amidst many thousands of square miles of mountains, lakes, taiga, and swamp. Fort Macdonald is a trading post for trappers and natives. The best route into the valley of the North Hanninah is upstream by canoe, following the west branch of the Mackenzie to the mouth of the tributary you seek. A single bark canoe of excellent make has been reserved for you, as well as all the basic gear that your summer trip requires. Officials tell you that guides are reluctant to venture into the North Hanninah. The local peoples have always shunned the region, and most of the white men who dared to trespass upon the river of magic power never returned. Still, you locate a tough professional guide named Charlie Foxtail. She narrows her eyes upon hearing of your destination, but is persuaded by the high wages you are offering. Finally, all is ready to go. After a few days on the west branch of the Mackenzie, the stuffy corridors of Miskatonic University seem very far away. Sun stifles the water, from the glare of midday to the gentle burn of sunset. Caribou gaze at you from the shore. Ahead, a heron drags an unfortunate stickleback from the shallows. It would feel like a vacation, were it not for the relentless demand of the paddle. Each day makes the students more adept at keeping time with you and Charlie. Your supply of gasoline is limited, so you run the outboard motor as seldom as possible. Sun and wind grant Bernard the outdoor complexion he desires. You locate the tributary one evening, just as the light begins to fail. Next day, you launch into the North Hanninah. The Ram Mountains loom in the distance through a heat haze. At this latitude, the summer nights are so short that darkness gives the waterways no time to cool. Norman wipes sweat from the back of his head. The North Hanninah is a rougher river than the West Branch. Its floodplain is obstructed by sandbars, hills of driftwood, shingle islands, and forests of dead trees rooted in the mud. The current points all of them downstream, like arrows warning you to turn back. Sylvia turns to your guide. Charlie, does your people live in this area? Charlie grunts and watches the water. For a moment, it seems she will not answer. Then, she looks at Sylvia. At one time, now only outcasts. We will avoid them. Sylvia frowns. Why are they... But Charlie raises a hand. From ahead, slowly building, you hear the roar of rushing water. This is the place of the spitting water, she says. Here, the river is alive. Each day it makes itself new. Make a luck roll. My luck is 85, so I need to roll under 85. And that is a 62 success. The expedition spends the day working through a baffling network of waterways. Sometimes you are forced to back down impassable channels to find an easier way. Sometimes you blunder across the heads of powerful chutes and are swept along with them. At certain points, your party has to wade in waist-deep water, inching the craft along by hand. You pass labyrinths of wooden islands, fast water, and drift. Finally, you select a peaceful backwater in which to moor and make camp for the night. Roll 1d10. If the result is even, I will go to one location. If the result is odd, I will go to another. So that is a 5, so that is odd. Your first night along the North Hanninah passes without mishap. You must decide now whether to press on hard to penetrate deep into the region or set a more leisurely pace, exploring as you go. So, I have to decide, do I want to press on or do I want us to take our time? I'm going to press on. At dawn, you set off again. The day turns into a scorcher. Rocks in the stream are hot to the touch. There is beauty under the shimmering heat, though. The wet sands by the water's edge are hidden under a vibrating carpet of blue, a host of small azure butterflies basking in the warmth. Pausing a moment from your canoeing, you scan the shores for any sign of life. You catch a flash of someone standing by the river shore, half hidden by a bushy juniper. Before you can adjust your binoculars, the stranger is out of sight. Now I have to make the decision, do I paddle to shore to investigate? Or do I continue on until camping time? I'm going to continue on. Paddling is a familiar rhythm now, and you permit periods of rest using the outboard motor. Your determined group proceeds mile after mile toward your primary goal, Headsman's Glen. The valley is crowded in by steep hills, small mountains, and rough stands of jack pines, black spruces, and balsam firs. Following Charlie's advice, your party sets up a semi-permanent camp, giving access to fish and game as well as some refuge should the local people prove hostile. In the days that follow, your party makes periodic excursions, seeking evidence of human inhabitants. It begins to look like you will be disappointed. Following another day of fruitless exploration along the floor of the valley, your party fixes a hearty supper of stone-baked biscuits, jerky, and beans. Gnats and mosquitoes swarm close, but the smoke from your fire drives the worst of the pests away. While you eat, you notice Charlie has withdrawn from the group. You attempt to include her by asking if she has any campfire songs or hair-raising stories. It is bad luck to speak of such things, she grunts. The woods do not like to be mocked. She gets to her feet and scans the perimeter of the camp, sniffing the air. You raise an eyebrow. Moose, she says. before you can frame your question. It is nothing. It is time we went to bed. You draw in a deep breath, scenting nothing but the food, the smoke, and the fresh odor of the river. Nonetheless, Charlie's manner has affected your party's mood, and they are ready to call it a day. Your watch passes without incident, but later, you shiver in your sleep. The chill is brought home to you when Charlie reaches into your small tent and shakes you awake. "Professor, come quickly," the guide snaps. You throw on your jacket and follow her. Outside, you stare at the grass, the stones, the needles of the conifers. All are gray with a frosty rime. This seems impossible. It is still summer. "Look," Charlie croaks, pointing to the spot where Bernard sat down to begin his watch. The graduate student lies half hidden behind a stump, curled up. You gasp. Epstein has been reduced to a shrunken, flabby, drooling thing. His bloodless forehead is caved in like a deflated basketball. How he can still be alive in that condition is beyond your ken. Sylvia brings a blanket, and you wrap Bernard in the heavy wool. As you do so, you notice a somewhat repugnant odor in the cold air. When you grasp the young man's jacket, your fingers slip from a grayish grease that coats him. You and Charlie search the area for clues. She finds some very strange tracks leaving the camp. They follow a straight line as if made by a one-legged hopper. The prints are round and convex. Each gives off a faint bluish vapor and is glazed with ice. You scratch around one track with your knife to find out how deeply the ice extends. Frustrated, you dig with the blade, only to find a rock-hard column of ice and sand that seems to have no end. The warmth of the morning sun evaporates the rime surrounding the camp, but does not melt the ice in its tracks. You feel an increasing headache, a complaint echoed by all three of your otherwise sound companions. Following the round tracks out of camp adds to the mystery. Where they cross streams, they leave icy circles at the bottom that the running water has not worn down. The prints show that where the intruder's feet touched solid matter, they annihilated it. In one place, where a track steps on Bernard's hatchet, a circle of steel has vanished, blinked cleanly out of existence. What in God's name are you up against? Charlie tags after you and babbles legends about the killer who comes with cold. "You do not want to find what you seek," she says. "I will leave this place. You and the young people must return with me to Fort McDonald, or I will go alone." This time you realize Charlie is talking sense. You go with Norman to Bernard's tent to move the wretch to the canoe. When you throw open the flap, you discover Bernard is gone. His tracks lead down to the Hanninah and vanish at the riverbank. Your hasty search turns up nothing. It seems he wandered away in his delirium and drowned. Your group hurriedly packs the canoe. Charlie works the motor, and the rest of your group pitch in with paddles. You spend a peaceful first day returning downriver. The next day out, a downpour turns the water savage, whisking you around a cliff-bound bend and down a mile-long sequence of rapids. Make a boat roll. My boat score is 21, so I need to roll a 21 or lower. And that is a 4, success. Your party's boating skills pull you through without mishap. Make a luck roll. My luck is 85, so I need an 85 or lower. And that is a 36, success. It is time to decide the course of your expedition. Fort McDonald lies within your reach, and you may go there to end your experience in the North Hanninah. If you still have an appetite for exploration, you may take a short side trip or even strike back out into the depths of the valley. The loss of Bernard, it weighs on us all. He was more than just a student. He was a bright mind, a cherubic soul eager to prove himself in a world that has proven itself far more unforgiving than any of us anticipated. Charlie tells us to turn back, to heed the warnings of a valley that does not like to be mocked. But an academic cannot simply close the book when the story turns grim. If we retreat now, Bernard's sacrifice is for nothing. Fort McDonald is within our reach, a safe haven of wood and warmth, but the North Hanninah still holds its secrets. We didn't come this far to be broken by a single tragedy. There is a truth hidden in these big woods, a prehistoric echo that demands a rigorous perspective. Norman, Sylvia, stay close. We strike back into the wilds. We owe it to Bernard to finish what we started. Wrap your furs tight. It seems the frost will only get deeper from here. Every field trip is a rare opportunity that must be fought for. Miskatonic is a wonderful institution, but the discoveries that change the known world are made here, on its fringes, through painstaking and dangerous exploration. You cannot give up yet. When you announce your intent to divert the party, Charlie stares at you like you have lost your mind. It is madness to return to that evil place. I will not do so. To give up the idea and return to civilization, go to 593. To remind Charlie who pays her when the trip is over, go to 599. We have to press on, so we will remind Charlie who pays her when this trip is over. Your threat impressed Charlie. Rather than end up with nothing for her efforts, she sneaks off that night during her watch, taking the canoe and a share of the supplies as payment. Norman and Sylvia cannot meet your eyes for a few hours. You and the two students travel over trackless woods on short rations. From day to day, the air cools as the short summer declines into the rugged, subarctic autumn. I will now make a luck roll to concentrate on finding supplies. 49, success. By a stroke of luck, your party stumbles upon an abandoned cabin stocked with rusty but edible tins of food. This happy discovery solves your food problem for the time being. There is no trace of the person who built the cabin, probably a prospector or hunter who fell victim to the hazards of the valley. You may make an improvement check for your luck score to gain 1d10 luck points. And I gain 3 more luck points. You and the others make your beds in the decrepit shell of the old cabin. The sagging walls afford some shelter from the chilly wind, though the condition of the roof makes you hope it doesn't rain. The frogs are noisy outside, but you think you hear something. You ask for silence and listen. There, the rustle of unsteady feet walking through the dead matting of the forest floor. You tell the students to arm themselves before stepping outside. Your rifle wavers. You see a white man. His beard is wild and greasy. He is naked except for rags wrapped around his feet and an animal hide tied around his waist. The crazed expression on his face worries you, but he carries no weapons. You have the students to think of. You fire point blank into the man's chest. Make a luck roll. If you succeed, we will see what happens. So I'm going to make a luck roll, which is currently 88. So I have a high chance of rolling well. That is a 41 success. The stranger staggers backward under the impact of your bullet and then straightens up. completely unhurt. The face before you deforms into that of a fiend incarnate. 3 times it belches out a raucous shriek, and at each, the figure grows and changes. With the 3rd cry, it is a human no longer, but a demonic giant of ice and tatters. You swing your rifle barrel around and squeeze off a shot at the thing's heart. Make a firearms rifle shotgun roll. And my rifle is a 60, so I just need to get a 60 or below. And that is an 8 success. The hot bullet pierces the windwalker's heart. It doubles over and staggers away, brushing trees from its path. You remember from the area's myths that the windwalker will die if its icy heart is melted. Your lucky shot must have placed the creature in fear of its unnatural life. Norman and Sylvia approach, blinking back sleep. You snap an order to strike the camp. You must evacuate the area as quickly as possible. Gain 1d6 sanity. So I will roll 1d6. And that is a 5. So I gain 5 sanity. After so narrow an escape, you and the students are anxious, even desperate to get home. The going becomes easier, and you progress without incident. Perhaps you have paid your debt to the gods of the forest. It is time to decide the course of your expedition. Fort McDonald lies within your reach, and you may go there to end your experience in the North Hanninah. If you still have an appetite for exploration, you may take a short side trip or even strike back out into the depths of the valley. I think we are going to return to Fort McDonald. The forest is not safe. You pass the place of splitting water with no particular difficulty and reach the calmer waterways of the Rest Branch. The foraging is ample now, and you recover strength as you draw near to Fort McDonald. After so many days on the river and nights in the woods, it feels strange to sit in a stifling room and answer questions about your conduct. If you have lost any members of your party or have confirmed their death, multiply the number of such losses by 15. So I have lost 1 member, so that would be 15. This is your liability score. Roll 1d100. If the score is greater than your liability score, you have an option. So I'm going to roll 1d100 and see what I get. My liability score is 15. So that is a 62. So the result is greater. When your report of your party's misfortunes is analyzed by the Canadian authorities, they absolve you of any wrongdoing or neglect. You must decide what to announce as the primary result of your explorations in the valley of the North Hanninah. The other discoveries can wait. Even before arriving back in Arkham, you know your lack of hard evidence will undermine your credibility. The verdict of the Canadian authorities counts in your favor, but the parents of your students rise up in arms and force a thorough review of your case. They impute that you are an incompetent crank willing to risk innocent lives to pursue off-the-wall theories. Your standing in the scientific community is imperiled. You stand on your record. Make an anthropology roll. My anthropology is 75, so I need to roll lower than 75. And that is a 9 success. The Board of Inquiry dismisses the charges against you. You settle back into the academic community. And although your expedition has failed to produce any hard evidence, your reputation is such that Miskatonic University does not hold it against you. However, as the Great Depression sets in, you find it more difficult to fund new projects. The bizarre stories you have to tell of the North Hanninah are greeted with enthusiasm by the sensationalist press, but skepticism by your colleagues. As things go, your crew manages to survive your Hanninah experience. The Nadelman expedition is over. The end.